Okay. Um so I'm bored and I don't usually post on Thursday because I usually post on Monday, Wednesday and Friday. And I'm just so bored of this whole quarantine thing about academic the whole pandemic thing that's going around right now. And I just decided why the heck not? Like I decided to do another what if. Um So this is gonna be part two to what if Deku had cremation. So let's get into it. So where I last left off, I think like Endeavor just kicked Deku on the street, and I think he was like 7. If not, I'm gonna make him 7. I think he was 7. So yeah, um, uh, for everyone that commented, what type of what if this should be, and a lot of people said hero, some people said villain, and some people said anti-hero. So I counted up all the votes, and he and Deku would be he would be a he would be a villain, and but after the the training camp, someone commented this that Deku should be a villain and then an anti-hero after the training camp. So that's what he's gonna be. He's gonna be a villain in this one. And I'm sorry for the people who wanted this a hero what if. I just decided to make it this way. So yeah, um so Deku, he's 7 and he's just living on the street. He lives in like this abandoned house. No, an abandoned factory. He lives there. He he steals food. He sometimes just hunts for it. He hunts food and sometimes he just steals it from the stores, and every time that he would go like in public, people would just stare at him because of his scars, and sometimes they like saying like, oh, like that kid's a freak or whatever. People would just say stuff like that. So I'm gonna say that Deku, he's like really mad, and like at his dad. Like he just has this hatred now of like why would he like his like why would he love a dad that never loved him? So yeah, like he would be like very angry and all that. He would like start doing like bad things, I guess. Like he would like he would just start burning places, like starting like small fires in a few places. He will sometimes just burn like trees to the ground and whatever and whatnot. And this would happen for like next few years. Deku, he would also be training his quirk, so he would be able to like use it for like a while, and then it would start burning his he would start burning him, but Deku has trained it. So yeah. So it's been a few years. The news, like people are saying, like the news, like it's been going around that Endeavor's son has gone missing and all that, and like people are trying to look for Deku, but they don't know what he looks like because he's never been in the public eye. No, the public hasn't seen Deku. Like they haven't seen any of the kids. So yeah. Well, except Todoroki, because he has the better quirk, I guess. I don't know. So yeah, this has been going on, and there's like missing posters, and like people are like looking for him, and yeah, we skipped till he's like 10 years old. He Like he would go to like alleyways where like people would go to do like bad things. Like I'm not gonna say it, but just bad things, and he would just kill them by just burning them alive. And when the police come, they just see nothing but ashes. And I'm gonna say that Deku leaves like a handprint on like the walls to like mark, and like he's been doing this for like a few years, and the cops already know like who this is, and because Deku's been doing this for a long time, like he's just been burning people alive and leaving their ashes. And I'm sorry if you can hear that. So yeah, he's been just leaving, like he's been burning people alive. I'm sorry about that. Anyways, so yeah, he would leave like a handprint, like a burning hand on the wall, and yeah, and this would be like on the news like frequently about like someone just burning people alive, like burning people to ashes. And they're saying like all these people, like all the people that like all the victims are like murderers and like drug dealers or whatever. And the news are saying like today there's been another incident with this mysterious person. Two piles of ashes were two human bodies, what was it, like two like piles of ashes that were two people. And they're like just talking about the case, and like the news people are saying like, is this a hero or is this a villain that we're dealing with right now? And everyone is like, they know about Deku and like how and what he's doing. And eventually he's been doing this for a while, so I'm gonna skip 4 years, so he's 14. It's the start of the anime. Deku, he's just walking. He like stole stuff. He just stole something from the store, like raw meat, and he's just gonna cook it. But then a man, a big man in a suit, walks up to him and says, "Hey kid, what are you doing here?" Deku looks up and he sees the man with a black sort of helmet on his head. And Deku says like, "Who are you?" And the man says, "I am All For One, and I've been watching you for a while. You seem depressed, and I've seen what you're doing to those people." Deku says, "So you know, like what I've been doing?" All For One says yes. And I'm gonna say that All For One has a quirk. Oh crap! Sorry. I'm gonna say that All For One has a quirk to see people's DNA, and like to see like what who their parents are. And he sees like Deku. He's related to Endeavor, and he sees like it's his like this is Endeavor's son. And he just asks, like, "Are you Endeavor's son?" And Deku says, Don't bring up that guy's name. He's not my father." And All For One would say, "Do you want to get back at him?" And Deku would say, "Of course. Like I hate him." And All For One said, "Come with me." And Deku would go with him. They would arrive to the League of Villains hideout. Shigaraki's there. And Kirigiri. Yeah. And then All For One comes in with Deku. Shigaraki says, "Master, who's this kid?" And All For One says like, "This is Endeavor's son." And Shigaraki, like he stands up because he was sitting. He stands up and he says, like, why would you bring a hero's son into our base? And All For One says, Deku says, he's not my father, so don't mention him. And All For One says, like, he was kicked out of his house because Endeavor, like, saw his quirk to be weak. Or not weak, Endeavor saw him as weak and all that. And now he wants to get back at Endeavor. And, yeah. And then Shigaraki says, so you want to be a villain? Like, you want to join us? Deku says, yeah. Like, who are you guys anyway? And Shigaraki says, like, I'm Shigaraki, and this and that is Kirigiri, and we're forming a group called the League of Villains, and my master wants you to join. And Deku says, I accept your offer. So, Deku, he would be training, I'm gonna say that All For One gives Deku a quirk that gives him more resistance to fire, so he won't get burned as much. Or like his fire won't affect him as much and all that. And I will just get to the USJ Attack. And so like Shigaraki, Kurogiri, Deku, they're there. Like this is at their hideout. Look, and like there's a bunch of random like criminals and all of that. And then Deku sees the Nomu, and then I'm sorry about that. Deku sees the Nomu. He asks Shigaraki like, "Hey, like, what's this thing?" Shigaraki says like, "Oh, this is to kill All Might." And then Deku says, "Oh, okay." And then Shigaraki says, "Kirigiri, we're ready to go." Deku, he like walks through the portal. Then he is in the USJ. But he's in the back. He's in the back of the group. And then this is when Eraser or Aizawa would jump and start attacking the villains. Deku would give the idea to Kirigiri to separate them. So Kirigiri does. Deku, he would just be there like I want to say that like some of the like Bakugo, Kirishima, and like Todoroki, eventually they would get there, and like when they would try to help Aizawa out with the heroes and with the villains, Deku would just shoot like a big fire blast at them, not hitting them, but just like as a warning shot. And they back off. All three of them back off because it's so hot. And Todoroki just like, he just thinks in his head, blue fire? Like, where did that come from? And then he sees Deku, but he doesn't recognize him. So yeah, he doesn't recognize him. And then Shigaraki's like just sends the Nomu to kill Aizawa. And yeah, then All Might comes in. He would start fighting with the Nomu. What was it? Yeah, he would. Deku, he would shoot a fire blast at All Might's back, burning him. And this would give the Nomu the upper hand. But All Might would still like do the plus ultra punch, whatever, and he will still defeat the Nomu. And then Shigaraki tells Kirigiri to take him away. And Shigaraki's walking through the portal. Deku's about to. He looks back. and he looks like at like Todoroki, and he just like grins. He grins at him and walks through the portal, and in his mind he's thinking, "So that's Todoroki. He's grown." And yeah, so they get back. The whole festival, the whole sports festival, it happens. But it's Deku, like while the sports festival is happening, he's been like killing people, like just burning them alive and all that. But he also decides to go to the sports festival to see like how good are the students and what their quirks are, so he can figure out a way to counter, like to get an advantage over them. So he's like wearing like a surgical mask, a hoodie, and he's wearing like pants. So he's just there. He's watching like everyone fight. I'm gonna just say that Todoroki, he's just fighting a random person instead of Deku. He wins easily. And then he looks in the crowd and he sees his dad. Actually, no, scratch that. Scratch that. So Todoroki wins that one. He wins against that random person. Deku, he's gonna go get some food, and then he as he's walking through the hallways, he sees Endeavor, and then he looks at him. He just gets really angry, and he, like, fire just starts coming off of him. And then Endeavor like feels the fire, and he says, "Hey, like, stop using your quirk." And he would try. Like, no, he wouldn't do anything. He would just, Endeavor would just say, like, "Stop using your quirk in here." And Deku just says, "Don't tell me what to do." And then he just walks away. So, and Endeavor, he's thinking like, that fire and that face seems familiar. It's probably nothing. So yeah, Deku, he gets his food, he comes back, and it's the finals. Todoroki versus Bakugo. Since Deku's was not in UA, or not right now. He like Todoroki has he doesn't stop using his fire side during like the finals with Bakugo. He would shoot that big ice attack that he did with Deku. He would shoot that, and Bakugo would do his howitzer impact, and it would make a big the same big explosion as in canon, like with Todoroki and Deku. It would make a big explosion like that. And yeah, I would say that both of them are out of the ring, but Bakugo gets up, and then he's declared the winner and all that. So yeah, that's the end of that. Deku just goes back to killing people in the alleyways at night. I forgot to mention that he does it at night, not during the day. And yeah. So I'm gonna say that Deku, he's just chilling at the bar. And then he's just talking with Kurogiri about their future plans with UA and all that. What was I doing? So yeah, he's just talking with Kurogiri. I'm gonna say that Shigaraki, he would tell Deku, he would tell Deku he has a little mission for him. Deku would say, "What is it?" And Shigaraki would say, "I want you to go sneak into UA to get some files of their future, like their future plans, I guess. Deku says like, how do you think, like, okay, but how am I gonna get in? The wall is secured and like with a ton of defense. And Shigaraki would say like you've trained hard enough to make your fire not visible, but it would still melt through the whole thing, the whole wall. Deku would say, all right. He would go to UA, and I would say that the media would still would be there. Like when Shigaraki broke in, like during UA, like at UA the first time, like the media would be there about the sports festival, and they want to talk to not Deku, Todoroki, because he he just wants to talk to Todoroki and Bakugo. They want to talk to them, and Deku's just in the crowd. He goes around the corner of UA and melts through the wall. And yeah, he gets in. He goes through like a vent, and he's like going through the vents, and he's seeing. He's like right above like class 1A, and he's looking down, and he sees his brother, he sees Bakugo, and sees the rest of the class. And yeah, he's just like, he looks at Todoroki and he says, I missed you, brother. And then he continues on. He gets the files, but as soon as he does, the alarm starts ringing. And then he would say like, crap, I need to get out of here. He would start running. He would run out of the room. Then I'm gonna say Midnight and Cementos would be there. They would say, stop, like, what are you doing here? Like, you're trespassing. And Deku would just throw a fire attack, and Cementos would he would put up a wall, but it would just break, like melt the cement, because it's Deku's fire is so hot. Yeah. So the wall would melt, and then Deku would just continue running, and eventually more heroes would try to get Deku, but Deku would just shoot fire everywhere, and he would escape through the hole where he came in from. And yeah. So Deku here arrives back to the hideout. He would tell Shigaraki here are the plans for future UA, I guess. And Shigaraki would say, this is perfect. So they're gonna have the what was it? The internships. Internships, they don't really and Shigaraki would say the internships, and then the training camp. The final test is not on there. So Shigaraki would says, okay, so we're gonna do an attack on Hosuh City. And Deku says, okay, when? And he says, later on today. Deku says, okay, just tell me when you're ready. I'll be ready too. And skip forward a few. I'm gonna say no. He said tomorrow, so it's gonna be tomorrow. It's the next day. They're getting ready, and Deku sees more Nomus and all that. And Shigaraki says you're ready. No, not actually. Deku, he would come in the bar, and he would see Stain talking with Shigaraki, because Shigaraki wants to recruit Stain. And Stain would threaten Shigaraki, and then Deku would just shoot like a like a really small fire at Stain, but Stain would dodge it, and Deku says like, "What do you think you're doing?" And Stain would say like, "Oh, who are you?" or whatever. And then Shigaraki would continue like his request of Stain joining the League of Villains. Stain says no, and then he leaves. Then the attack happens. Deku, he would set fire to the buildings. Like he would be like in a back alleyway, and he would just set fire to the buildings on the streets everywhere. And then, yeah, then the no moves happened. No moves start attacking the heroes. Deku would just continue to spread fire everywhere. Then like I would say that Deku he looks at Stain like he's looking at Stain like about to like cut like stab Ida. And he does, and I would say like a random hero like comes out of nowhere and takes Stain out, because I don't want Ida to die in this one. For some reason, like I kind of want him to die, but I also don't want him dead. So yeah, so after that, they're investigating. Like this could be the hero side. Like Deku and the rest of the League of Villains, they already left, so this could be the hero side, the hero's view. So the heroes, they're investigating, and like the heroes see like footprints, like and like they see footprints like muddy footprints, because I'm gonna say that Deku, he would be like, it would be like like the grass would be wet, and like he was like he would be like stepping in mud and whatever when he was like setting the buildings on fire. So they would see like footprints, and they would see like they would figure out that somebody like set these buildings on fire and set the road on fire and whatnot. And Endeavor's there, and they're talking with Endeavor, like saying like whoever did this has some kind of fire quirk. And they're also, and I'm gonna say that Endeavor says, "Oh yeah," and the hero says like, "Yeah, like it's possibly stronger than your fire, Endeavor." And Endeavor just says like, "There's nothing stronger than my fire." And yeah, so yeah, that's the end of that. The test happens. I'm not gonna go through it. Like, I'm gonna just go through the. Actually, I'm gonna continue a little bit. So yeah, they investigate. And Deku, he's just back at the bar. He's like, it's late at night, and Deku, he says like, "I'll be back. I'm just going somewhere. Like, I'm gonna go take a walk." And they say fine. So Deku leaves. He's just taking a walk with his hoodie and his surgical mask. And then like he sees like on the TV and there's like TVs at a window, and like people are watching like the news. So Deku stops and look at the news, and like they're talking about the incident that happened, like the Hosuh City attack, and like they're saying like whoever did this, and like they must have whoever set fire to these buildings must have had a fire quirk, and this could be the same person that has been killing people in alleyways. And everyone's like scared. Deku says, "So they're on to me now. Whatever." When Deku just continues walking, he would see like parents with their kids, and like they're being happy. Like they're in like a restaurant and like walking outside. Deku, he's just thinking in his head, and he's like saying like, why can't I? How come I never had that? How come I never had parents that loved me? And he's just getting sad, but he's not crying. He's just getting sad. Then yeah. Then he comes back. It's the next day. Deku, he would just continue his regular routine, just killing people at night. And he would just walk around during the day. He would just start killing people at night, whatever. What else can I add? What else? Oh yeah, the Action Vanguard squad would join. So Muscular, Mr. Compress, Mustard, and Toga. I think that's all of them. Oh wait, and Twice, Spinner, and whatnot. Everyone else would join. And yeah, they would join. And then it would be the sports training camp. But I'm gonna continue this in the next part. So I hope you guys like this. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.